Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been a while, but I did want to come on and give you guys an update. I was trying to wait till we had like a few weeks in to school, so we are going into our 5th week of homeschooling, and so I thought it's a good time to hop in and tell you guys what's going well, what we've changed up. I'd love to know how your school year's going so far. My kids did end up doing a co-op this year, so they're taking a few classes there. That's where they are today. One reason that I could make the video. So a few things we changed up, and I'll tell you what those are. And we just had to change some things because the curriculum was picked for us at their co-op, and then other things that we changed because we wanted to move in a different direction. So I'm gonna do both my kids' stuff together. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Amy. We are kind of an interest-led kind of homeschool. We do a lot of literature, we do some diverse books, and I love homeschooling. My kids are in 10th grade. My son and my daughter is in 7th this year, so this is my 5th year homeschooling, and I do think this year it's been the smoothest kind of start for us, and I think a lot of that is just being more comfortable and knowing my people, so yay for that. I'll start right away. So here we go. I'm going to start with math, so I hope you guys enjoy. All right, my daughter is doing Learn Math Fast Volume 3, and she's also going to get through Volume 4. This isn't hard to get through 2 of these. And it's basically, this is like their pre-algebra, and then their Volume 4 is kind of like pre-geometry. So it's like pre-algebra and pre-geometry to get through that in a year. And I love it. I have another video where I broke it down and showed it, but I can tell you we are, like I said, on our 5th week in. We've gotten through, you can see where our tab is. So I feel like we've gotten through enough for me to tell you it's very good. The teaching is excellent. My girl is, I'm not a math brain person. My son is, my daughter is like in between, and we both had excellent experience with this. Highly recommend. Love it. I think it's perfect for a gentle pre-algebra. We've used everything else you can think of, and I think this is my #1 pick for my daughter, so we're loving it. Learn Math Fast. My son is doing pre-calculus credit this year for he's in 10th grade. He's very math gifted. We've used in the past CTC math teaching textbooks and Saxon. For my son, he's using Life of Fred. We are finishing up advanced algebra with Life of Fred. Life of Fred, their algebra, advanced algebra, it really goes into a lot of stuff that's not covered in like a typical algebra 2 class. It's got a lot of more pre-calculus stuff. It's very deep, very thorough. I think this would not work for every kid. I think, honestly, you may disagree. I think it's for a math brain child. It's gentle in approach. It's story-like. The lessons are short. I think I have some videos of Life of Fred, but for my son, it's a perfect pick. Wouldn't work for my daughter. I don't think so. In fact, we had thought about trying their pre-algebra, and I was like, I don't think this is going to work for her, so we switched. But he's going to get through the rest of this. We were doing teaching textbooks last year for Algebra 2. Didn't like it. And switched to Life of Fred. So we will finish it, but it's great. The stuff he's learning right now, I was Googling like pre-calculus, and it is, even though this says that this is advanced algebra, it's pre-calculus stuff. So he'll finish this, and then he'll move on to their trigonometry to round out pre-calculus. So loving it, great, perfect. What a great pick for him. So I'm really happy with both of our math picks. For science, I'll move on to that. My daughter is doing science at co-op. We had picked out some Good and the Beautiful science, and we're not using them. So she's doing science at co-op, so she's having to use the books that they picked. And I'm not really going to even get into what they are because they're not books I would pick. So they're fine, but they're not ones that I would like recommend and think that they're great. So she's doing that. It's not a lot of work at co-op. It's really not even enough to keep her really busy for a whole week. So we got this journal from the Thinking Tree, and I absolutely love it. Have you ever used any of their things? fantastic. If you have a creative child that likes to write and draw, oh my gosh. So she's doing this like a couple days a week when she doesn't have co-op assignments. I'm going to just show you a couple of things like that she's drawn. So this is Endangered, Extinct, Legendary Animals. So it has like, teaches them about the different animals. There's pages for them to go and like watch a video about them, which they would do themselves, and then write about it. This is like up her alley. Places to draw and then like to write a story. Almost done. Some stuff we skip over. I kind of let her pick like what she wants to do. She's in 7th grade, so we just try to have most fun. Look at this, drawing their food. Hope you can see. So cool. This is just perfect for her. She's been into drawing like the skeletons and stuff. So anyway, that's what she's doing for her fun part of her science and loving it. My son is using, this is our pick for advanced chemistry. It's by the Lab of Mr. Q. I have a video with this linked. If you look at our full curriculum video, it's in there. I'll try to see if I can link it. This is what it looks like. I will say he loves it. It's a lot of math. Apparently that's what chemistry is. So poor kid is doing like math and math. But this guy does a really good job. If you have a math brain child, I think that this would be a good chemistry. It's gentle in approach. It's mostly math though. Like he teaches the math concept and then they do problems. And that's pretty much, and there's a lab that's in the kitchen. So it's not like a typical you buy a $300 lab. You can do all the labs in the kitchen. It's basically fixing food, and he might have them do conversions, write things in scientific notation, standard notation. So it's both basically just an exercise in the math. And then we're getting into, we really haven't gotten that far into it, but we're 5 weeks in. I like it. It's a gentle approach. I don't know. I can't really show you a whole lot. I'll show you like just like a page so you can see what the lessons look like. You just print the whole thing out. It's not a ton of work. So we are going to supplement it with some books that are like for reading, more like fun. So he's doing this one right now. He loves it. One day a week, he picks a couple elements and then he reads about them and then gives me like a written narration with interesting facts about one of the elements he's learning about. So that just makes it more fun. There, it's beautiful, this book. Highly recommend this book if you wanted to do a gentle chemistry and supplement it. It's got, I'm trying to show you, really cool pictures. It just makes the elements so much more interesting. He's learned a lot. So he's going to do this. We have other books to use as the year goes on. I'll probably come back when I do like more updates and he moves to a different like supplemental book. I'll tell you what those are. But he's loving it. Would I do this with my daughter for her chemistry? Probably not. Probably would do more of a literature based. I would probably do for her, in case you're interested, if you have a more literature loving child. What's it called? Guest Hollow, their kitchen chemistry. She would love that. Or even the Sabbath Moose chemistry. I think she would love that as well. And he probably would too, but this was like a great pick for him. So that is science. And next I've got history. My daughter, we had picked out The Good and the Beautiful History and we swapped it out. It just wasn't going to work for us. So she's actually doing history at co-op this year and they are using Story of the World. We can't get away from Story of the World. We've done it like every year. So we're doing it again. So we're in Volume 1, Ancient Times. We did this part of it last year. And then she'll move into the medieval and the Renaissance. But she's still loving it. She will read about it. We'll read it sometimes together and then give me a written narration. And she loves it, and it's fantastic. I love it for kids, I think, all the way through middle school. It's just perfect history, in my opinion, for younger children. It's really good. So we love that. She's also watching, my son's doing American history, so she's watching 1491, the documentary series, on Fridays with him, and she's really enjoyed that as well. So that's her history. His history, he is doing, I wish I had his binder, but I don't. The O Freedom US. It's like a conscious US history curriculum, and it is heavily literature based, and it's basically like indigenous centered history of the US. So it's going to talk you through African American history, Native American history, and like other people, not just indigenous, but also like other people that had come from other places. We are loving it. Absolutely fantastic. He's had a ton of other American history with like their presidents and all that stuff. So we were ready to do something different, and it's been fantastic. I'll show you a couple of the books that he's working through. This is one of their picks. He's been doing most of his reading so far for the course in this, and I've read along. It is phenomenal. And they have the O Freedom creators, which they're called Woke Homeschool. They have a YouTube playlist, and it is fantastic. Man, so good. So he's working through this one. He's working through Atlas of Indian Nations, and just parts of it, not the whole darn thing. But it's also very good. And there's other books that he will go through with that curriculum. And then to give him kind of a counterpoint point of view, he's about to start this. And this is technically going to be literature, but I'm using it as like a historical reader. And this is about the Pilgrims. I think it's going to be interesting because this is going to be a totally different kind of account for him. And I think it'll be interesting to see what he makes of the different perspectives. Love it. So I'm excited for that. And I gotta go grab some more books to show you the rest of our stuff. Okay, English. I'll show you my son's first. So for 10th grade English, he's going to work through some of the Wordsmith Craftsman. Not the first portion. It just wasn't my favorite. But he's going to do the second and third, maybe just the second this year. Paragraphs, writing techniques, paragraph organization, writing style. It's got a lot of exercises. And then that's part 2. And then part 3 has the essay. So it's a lot of essay practice. So we're going to try to get through some of those this year. My kids have been writing like narrations for history and science for years, so they know how to write. But I do, you're supposed to have that kind of composition in there. So we're doing some of it. We've only done a few of the exercises this year because he is doing some writing for co-op for some of his classes, and we've been counting those as composition. But I do think that this is great if you want a gentle approach that is going to prepare them for like SAT writing essays in college. I like it. I think it's good. So he's doing that. And we're just taking like a week or two with this, and then a week or two with the grammar. And then always he reads literature. Right now he's reading Lord of the Rings, book 1. And then he's also just starting this They Came for Freedom. So he'll do a lot of other literature picks, and I'll tell them to you as we go through the year. And then for his grammar, this was recommended to me by Kara Anderson. I don't know if you ever listened to the Homeschool Sisters podcast, but she had said that this was what she was using for her daughter for grammar. I think you could use this for grade 7 up, but definitely it's fine for high school. It is called the Best Grammar Workbook Ever, and this is a switch out. We were going to do the Good and the Beautiful English for high school, and we're not using it. So, womp womp. But this we're loving. Loving, great. If you have a kid that gets bogged down by like boring busy work, or just the same old thing over and over again, like diagramming sentences. Not that there's not value in it, but like, do you really need that as an adult? Do you need to do that? Is that something that is gonna make them a better writer or reader? I'm not sure. But she teaches a lot of the key concepts of grammar, and the exercises are short. I'll just read you a couple of that. It goes through basically everything. nouns, 5 types of nouns, pronouns, antecedents, types of pronouns, verbs, action verbs, linking verbs, tenses, irregular verb forms, voice, transitive, intransitive, adjectives, adverbs, prepositions, conjunctions, sentences, phrases, clauses, types of sentence structure, special issues with pronouns. I mean, this has got everything. It's a lot. We will probably use it over multiple years, and we just do like a page or two, a page a day. And it's fantastic. Highly recommend. If you'd be interested in seeing a video where I show more inside of it, let me know. But he likes it a lot, and that is a win for me. For my daughter, and my son's actually using one of these things, so I'll show you. We were also going to use the Good and the Beautiful English, and we changed our minds. So we are going to, or we have been doing some of more of the thinking tree. And they're kind of unschooly, I guess, but I'm going to have to like hold it up so you can see. We're using the Thinking Tree spelling, and there's also one called the Top 30 Grammar Mistakes, a Do-It-Yourself Homeschooling Handbook, and we are using their poetry collection. And then my daughter's also using the vocabulary, which is from the Critical Thinking Detective. They are the Critical Thinking Company, and we love this vocabulary. My son's using it as well. They have 2 different books. They're really good, and I'll show you those. Let me start with vocabulary. I'm just going to pop a few out. I have everything, like all of her English stuff is in a binder, so it's kind of like not the best way to show you. But this is what the vocabulary book. You're solving little mysteries, so it tells you like how you're going to do it. And so it's basically like a mystery, like a caper, right? And it's full of these vocab words that most children haven't ever read before, and they're going to have to look up like synonyms and use those words to solve the mystery. And it gives you your 4 suspects. And so within the body of the story, if you look up the words, you'll be able to solve the mystery. It's so fun. Both my kids like it. It's fine for older kids. It's not just for little kids. So that's day 1. You do that. And then day 2, you're going to take those vocab words and you're going to use it to complete sentences. So you're just getting like extra practice. So it's like a 2-day activity for vocabulary. I think it's fantastic. Both my kids, like I said, loving it. So we're using that for vocabulary. And then I'll show you the spelling for my daughter. If you have a kid that likes to draw, so it's called Spelling Time, and it's got the top 150 commonly misspelled words. So that list is at the very beginning. I'm just going to pull it out and show you. And then it goes through like a day at a time. She usually does spelling like twice a week, I think. 3 times a week. I can't remember. So one day you're basically just coloring in the words. And that might sound like simple to you, but I think the time that it takes, like you're having to just sit there and look at the words, I really do find that to be a great way to learn to spell. And then second day, it may have you fill in missing letters. I'll show you. Like this. And then the third day, you have an option to write sentences using as many spelling words as you can. We skip that. It's just not her jam. But so basically what she does, one day color, another day fill in the words. Let me look and see if there's anything else. I think that's pretty much how it goes. Lots of pretty like pictures. The Thinking Tree journals, if you've never used them, go check them out. It's called Fun Schooling, but I'll try to link their website below. I've been really pleased with everything we've gotten from them. So that's what spelling looks like. That's what vocabulary looks like. I'll show you her grammar. It's called the Top 30 Grammar Mistakes, a Do-It-Yourself Homeschooling Handbook. It's so cool. My son could use this too, honestly. This would be, I think, for any age. But that's what the cover looks like. And I'll just show you kind of like lesson 1 so you can see. These are the different table of contents. Yeah, I'll try to hold it where you can see. Letter from the author, affect or effect, already or already, a lot, or a lot, buy, buy, or buy. You can see just a lot of things that commonly kids mix up, and adults. So I'll show you like lesson 1. It gives a short little lesson. How do I know when to use affect or effect? And there's a little picture. And then the second page is your turn. You get to write a silly rhyme, sentence, or another way to learn or to help you remember this rule. So it's really cute. And then you can draw an illustration if you want, but of course my girl doesn't actually want to do that. So that's kind of how that works. Really fun, cute. She loves it. And then I'll show you the poetry. So she's doing like spelling. I think she does spelling or vocabulary. She goes between those every day. And then she goes between poetry or a grammar lesson. So one day she'll do vocabulary and poetry. Another day she'll do spelling and a grammar lesson. And we just flip-flop like that. So it's really fun and she doesn't get bored. The poetry collection is so cool. We actually purchased the journal. So I have the actual cover and then I just pulled it apart and stuck it in my binder. But this is what the cover looks like. How cute. Love it. And this is a level C. So it's basically for middle through high school. And it has a lot of poems in it. I'll just show you like the first page. I'll show you the table of contents. It's got all these poems in the book. And so like this will be the first poem. And then it will have a page to learn more about the author. And it's got like you put in their name, their nationality, year of birth and death, interesting fact about the author, a quote, a portrait, and other works by the author. So there you are. And then the back has a place for vocabulary practice. And then also common words that are used differently in this poem than usually understood. And if all the vocab words are familiar to you, use the lines below to write out your favorite phrases from the poem. And then on the next page, it has a place to do copy work from the poem if you want. I'll show you one more. It does have like some different things too. It has a section for poetic vocabulary. I'll show you that. You can write about the different things. And then the next poem, like this one, I gave her words. I highlighted ones that I wanted her to actually look up. What did that mean? So it basically goes on like that through the whole thing. It does have places to write your own poems. And copy work. So it's really fun and cool. She loves it. So that's her language arts. I think I'm about done. The only thing left is electives. Okay, so my daughter is taking Spanish 1 for high school. She's in 7th grade, but here in South Carolina, you're allowed to give 1 high school credit in 7th grade. And she loves Spanish, so I just decided to knock that one out. And she is using Life Pack. I've got like her first unit. She's already finished. And it comes with 10 of these, teacher's guide, which is like not laid out that great, and CDs, not DVDs, guys. These are not videos. They're just audio recordings, so FYI. So what do I like about it? It's affordable. I think the whole course was like $80 for a Spanish 1 curriculum. That's very inexpensive, especially for one that you can use for high school credit. Who do I think could use it? If you took Spanish in high school for like multiple years and still remember a good bit of it, I think you could do it with your kid. It's not been hard for me. I do remember a bit of Spanish. I took it for 3 years in high school, and then I took advanced Spanish in college. So could I speak fluently to like a person on the street? No. But I do remember like vocab and conjugations. So it has not been hard for me to help her. Could she do it on her own? I don't think so. I don't think so. It's been really helpful. Like she'll listen to the CDs, but she really often has to listen to me say the words slower. So we're, like I said, we're 1 unit in. It's not my favorite like Spanish curriculum, but it's totally fine. And I think she'll do well with it. So I give it kind of like a 1.5 thumbs up. I don't know. It's Probably too early to tell, but it's been okay. And definitely a lot more inexpensive than others. And probably it's more simple. It's very easy to grade. It doesn't take a lot of time. I will say, like, the stuff inside, like the pictures, they are like horrible clip art. They are bad. Oh, this is unit 2, so she's only done like the first few pictures. Like, look at these pictures. Y'all, they can do better than that. These are terrible pictures. But the content is good. So my son's doing ASL this year for his foreign language credit. He's doing it at co-op. If you wanted to do something different with your kid for foreign language, you could totally do ASL. You could do it all online. There are amazing videos on YouTube. I will link some that I think are fantastic. And that has been so fun for both of us. So we're loving the ASL. Highly recommend if you have a differently wired kid or a kid that just thinks that other foreign languages are boring. He's loving ASL, and I think it's fantastic. And the other 2 things my son's doing at co-op is personal finance. It's like the Dave Ramsey Foundations in Personal Finance, and he's taking career exploration. And for that class for career exploration, they're reading a book called What Color Is Your Parachute? He's enjoying that a lot. They're doing a lot of personality testing and learning about their interests and stuff like that. I think they're going to learn how to do like a resume. So from what I've seen of both of those courses, I think they're good. The Dave Ramsey Foundations in Personal Finance, I think it's good. I think you can get it online right now for like $30 for the whole year to do all the streaming ones. I think it's good. I think it's good information for a kid to get like outside from not from just their parents. So I think there's value in that. And the last thing is their little planners. I'll show you those real quick. They're working out really great. They each have one. I did a whole video on them. And this is my son's. These were by Erin Condren. They were not the expensive ones. I think these were like $30. And that's worked out really good for them to each have their own. I write their assignments for the week. Tuesday's like a co-op day, like I said. And then here's a full week. Lots of room. Love them. They have 2 bookmarks in them. I think they're great and they're flexible. This is my daughter's. And I'm going to track all their books and stuff like that. And this has worked really well for them. So here's my girls. And you can see that co-op day is usually blank. So we're loving it. Those are great. So I hope you enjoyed this. This is like our real review of how things are really going. I'd love to hear how your school year is going so far. What's working out, what you've had to tweak. And if there's anything in here useful, I hope you'll take it and leave the rest. And I hope to see you guys again soon. Let me know if there's any videos you would like, if there's anything you're interested in. I love to just make stuff that is actually useful for you guys. So let me know if there's anything you want to see more of, less of, and have a great day. Thanks, guys.